Jai-Ho wiped sweat from his forehead as he tightened the last bolt on the old mining drill. The small fan in his workshop did little against the summer heat. Outside, the 3 moons of New Seoul colony cast long shadows across the dusty landscape. There, he said to himself, fixed again. Jai-Ho Kim was the best mechanic in the outer rim of human space. People said he could fix anything with just a wrench and some wire. His workshop sat at the edge of the settlement, far from the busy town center. He liked it that way. Machines made more sense to him than people. He was about to close up for the night when a bright light flashed across the sky. It wasn't a normal ship. It moved too fast, trailing fire and smoke. Something was wrong. The object crashed with a loud boom about 2 miles from his workshop. The ground shook, and dust fell from the ceiling. Jai-Ho grabbed his emergency kit and jumped into his old rover. Probably some fool trader who didn't check their engines, he muttered. But as he drove toward the crash site, his heart beat faster. No human ship looked like that. The crash had left a long, deep cut in the earth. At the end of this trench sat the strangest ship Jai-Ho had ever seen. It wasn't made of metal plates like human vessels. This ship looked almost alive, smooth and curved like a giant shell or scale. Parts of it glowed with a faint blue light. The front end was torn open, revealing strange machinery inside. "Hello," Jai-Ho called out. "Anyone alive in there?" No answer came from the ship. Jai-Ho approached carefully, his hand on the small stunner he kept for protection. The outer hull felt warm and smooth, like polished stone rather than metal. He climbed through the damaged section into what seemed to be the control room. The inside was even stranger than the outside. Controls that looked like they were grown rather than built. Screens made of something like clear amber, and slumped over in a chair-like structure was the pilot. Jai-Ho froze. This was no human. The creature was about 7 feet tall, with a body covered in shimmering scales that ranged from deep blue to purple. Its face was long and reptilian, with closed eyes and sharp teeth visible where its mouth hung open. 2 arms ended in clawed hands with 6 fingers each. Most shocking were the folded wings on its back, now damaged and bent at odd angles. "A dragon," Jai-Ho whispered. Everyone in the outer colonies had heard stories about the dragon people from the stars beyond the Orion Arm. They were said to be proud and dangerous, with technology far beyond human understanding. Few humans had ever seen one, and those meetings rarely ended well. The dragon's chest moved slowly up and down. It was alive but badly hurt. Dark purple blood leaked from several wounds. Jai-Ho faced a choice. The smart thing would be to call colony security and let them handle this. The arrival of a dragon could mean trouble for everyone. But as he looked at the injured creature, Jai-Ho saw only someone who needed help, and helping things that were broken was what he did best. With a deep breath, he put away his stunner and moved closer to check the dragon's wounds. Some cuts were deep, but none seemed to hit vital areas. The dragon didn't wake as Jai-Ho carefully bandaged the worst injuries. Next, he turned to the ship. The damage was extensive, but maybe not beyond repair. The technology was unlike anything he knew, but machines followed rules. All machines could be fixed if you understood how they worked. Jai-Ho returned to his rover and brought it closer to the crash site. Using a winch and some creative engineering, he managed to drag the unconscious dragon from the ship. It was surprisingly light for its size. "I must be crazy," Jai-Ho told himself as he secured the alien in his rover. "But I can't just leave you here to die." As the suns began to rise on New Seoul, Jai-Ho drove home with his unexpected visitor. Little did he know that this single act of kindness would change his life forever. 3 days passed before the dragon woke up. Jai-Ho had set up a makeshift bed in the back room of his workshop and checked on his patient often. He kept the doors locked and told no one about his visitor. On the morning of the 4th day, Jai-Ho entered the room with a tray of food and found 2 large golden eyes staring at him. The dragon was awake and sitting up. "You're finally awake," Jai-Ho said, trying to sound calm. I was starting to worry. The dragon hissed and backed away. Its wings spread slightly in what Jai-Ho guessed was a warning. The creature spoke, but the sounds made no sense to Jai-Ho. "I can't understand you," Jai-Ho said, setting down the tray and backing up slowly. "But I'm not going to hurt you. I fixed your wounds." The dragon looked down at the bandages on its body, then back at Jai-Ho. Its eyes narrowed, but it seemed less afraid now. Jai-Ho pointed to himself. "Jai-Ho," he said clearly. The dragon watched him for a long moment. Then it pointed one clawed hand at its chest and made a complex sound. "That's too hard for me to say," Jai-Ho admitted. "How about I call you Ta-One? It's a common name where I come from." The dragon tilted its head, then nodded once. "Ta-One," it repeated in a deep, rough voice. Over the next week, they slowly learned to talk to each other. Ta-One was a quick learner and soon knew many human words. Jai-Ho discovered that the dragons called themselves the Ryong, and that Ta-One was not just any Ryong, but someone important among his people. "Ship," Ta-One said one day, pointing toward the window. "Need ship." "I've been working on it," Jai-Ho said, "but I've never seen technology like yours. It's going to take time." Ta-One stood up, much steadier now. "Show me." Jai-Ho had moved the damaged ship to a hidden spot behind his workshop. He had covered it with tarps to keep it safe from prying eyes. Now he pulled these away to show Ta-One what he had done so far. "I fixed the outer hull as best I could," Jai-Ho explained. "But the inside parts are strange to me. They seem almost alive." Ta-One touched the ship gently, like it was a living thing. Biomechanical, not just machine. Alive and not alive. "That explains a lot," Jai-Ho said. "Can you help me understand how it works?" Ta-One looked at Jai-Ho with doubt in his eyes. "Human technology simple. Ryong technology complex. You cannot understand." Jai-Ho smiled. "Try me." For the next month, they worked on the ship together. At first, Ta-One was cold and looked down on Jai-Ho's ideas. But as time passed, the dragon began to respect the human's clever solutions. Jai-Ho learned that Ryong ships used a mix of technology and living parts grown from special crystals. When parts of the ship were damaged, they needed to be healed, not just repaired. Jai-Ho found ways to adapt human tools to work with the strange systems. "How did you think to use sonic waves to stimulate the crystal growth?" Ta-One asked one day, watching as a broken section began to heal itself after Jai-Ho's treatment. "I noticed the crystals vibrate when they're working well," Jai-Ho explained. "So I thought maybe sound could help wake them up." "Impressive for a human," Ta-One admitted. In the evenings, they would sit in Jai-Ho's small kitchen. Ta-One told stories of the Ryong homeworld, a place of towering crystal mountains and vast floating cities. Jai-Ho shared tales of Earth and how humans had spread across the stars. Slowly, an odd friendship formed between them. Different as they were, they shared a love of solving problems and making things work. What Jai-Ho didn't know was that behind Ta-One's friendly questions about human colonies and defense systems, the dragon was making plans that would one day change everything. 2 months had passed since Ta-One crashed on New Seoul. The ship was almost fixed. The hull now shimmered with healthy blue light, and most systems worked again. Jai-Ho felt proud of what they had done together. One evening, as they finished work for the day, Ta-One grew serious. "I must tell you something, Jai-Ho," the dragon said. His speech was much better now. "I am not a simple Ryong." Jai-Ho wiped grease from his hands. "I figured that out weeks ago. Your clothes were too fancy, even all torn up." Ta-One's scales shifted color slightly, showing surprise. "You are more observant than most humans." He stood tall. "I am Prince Ta-One of the Royal Ryong Clutch, third son of the Emperor." Jai-Ho nearly dropped his tools. "You're a prince. Why were you flying alone in this small ship?" "I was on a secret mission. Peace talks with another species." Ta-One's eyes darkened. But some Ryong do not want peace. They attacked my ship. Why didn't you tell me this before? Jaiho asked. Ryong do not easily trust outsiders. Taiwan looked at the ship. But now, I must return home quickly. If I stay missing too long, my father might think I was killed. He could start a war. Jaiho nodded. We'll work faster. The ship should fly in another week. They pushed harder, working late into the night. Jaiho skipped meals and sleep to finish the repairs. Taiwan worked just as hard. One night, Jaiho went to get more tools from his workshop. When he returned, he saw Taiwan standing at the ship's control panel. The screen showed maps of human colonies. The dragon was downloading information. Jaiho stepped back, staying hidden in the shadows. He watched as Taiwan copied data about Earth's defense systems and weapons. This was not the behavior of someone who wanted peace. Later, when Taiwan had gone to rest, Jaiho confronted him. I saw what you were doing, Jaiho said. Why do you need information about our colonies and defenses? Taiwan's face showed no emotion. It is just cultural exchange. I want to learn about humans, just as you learned about Round. Defense systems aren't culture, Jaiho said. Taiwan placed a clawed hand on Jaiho's shoulder. You worry too much, my friend. Ryong are curious by nature. We collect knowledge about all species we meet. Jaiho wasn't sure he believed this, but what could he do? The ship was almost fixed, and Taiwan would leave soon. Perhaps it was just curiosity, as the dragon said. The next day, Jaiho made an excuse to work alone on the ship while Taiwan rested. Quietly, he added some special modifications to the engine and control systems. He installed a tiny tracking device deep inside the ship's core. He also created a hidden override system that could shut down the ship's weapons if needed. These changes were invisible, looking just like normal repair work. Jaiho felt bad about his distrust, but something didn't feel right. That night, Jaiho couldn't sleep. He walked to the workshop and found Taiwan at the ship's communication system. The dragon was sending a message. Jaiho stayed hidden and listened. Coordinates for Earth and all major human settlements included. Taiwan was saying in his own language. Jaiho had learned enough round words to understand parts of it. Their technology is simple but innovative. Their engineers would be valuable assets. Jaiho's heart sank. Taiwan wasn't sending a message home about peace talks. He was reporting on human weaknesses. Jaiho slipped away without being seen. For the first time, he was glad he had installed those secret modifications. Tomorrow the ship would be finished, and Taiwan would leave. Jaiho hoped he was wrong about the dragon's intentions. But deep down, he knew he wasn't. The day of Taiwan's departure arrived with the rising of New Seoul's 3 suns. The dragon ship gleamed in the morning light, fully repaired and ready to fly. Jaiho had not slept well. The knowledge of Taiwan's secret messages weighed heavily on him. Still, he put on a smile as they did the final checks on the ship. Everything looks good, Jaiho said, closing an access panel. The ship is stronger than before. I added some human engineering tricks that should help if you're attacked again. Taiwan nodded. Your work is impressive for a human. My people believe humans are simple beings, but you have shown me otherwise. Jaiho wasn't sure if this was a compliment or not. Will you tell your people about us? About how we helped you? Of course, Taiwan said. His golden eyes gave away nothing. The Round will know of Jaiho, the human who fixed what none of my kind could. They stood in silence for a moment. Despite everything, they had worked together for months. There was a strange bond between them now. I have something for you, Taiwan said. He removed a small metallic scale from his arm. It shimmered with blues and purples in the sunlight. A token of friendship. Ryong scales are harder than any metal in your world. Jaiho took the scale. It felt warm in his hand. Thank you. I have nothing to give you in return. You gave me my life and my ship, Taiwan said. That is more than enough. The dragon climbed into his ship, The door sealed with a soft hiss. Jeho stepped back as the engines hummed to life. The ship rose slowly at first, then shot upward with incredible speed. In seconds, it was just a bright dot in the sky, and then it was gone. Jeho stood there for a long time, wondering if he had done the right thing by helping Tadawon. The scale felt heavy in his pocket. Life returned to normal in the weeks that followed. Jeho fixed mining equipment, farm machines, and old rovers. He told no one about the dragon or his ship. Who would believe him anyway? 6 months passed. Then one day, a military transport landed near his workshop. A stern woman in a captain's uniform stepped out. "Jeho Kim?" she asked. "That's me," Jeho replied, wiping his hands on a rag. "What can I do for you, Captain?" "I need to ask you some questions about alien technology, specifically about the Ryong." Jeho's heart raced. "I don't know what you're talking about." The captain's face was grim. "3 outer colonies have been attacked in the past month. The pattern is always the same. Ships and defense systems suddenly stop working. Then strange vessels appear and take people, but only engineers and mechanics." She showed Jeho pictures on her tablet. The alien ships in the images looked just like Tadawon's, but larger and with weapons. "The strangest thing," the captain continued, "is that nothing gets destroyed. They disable technology, take the people who know how to fix things, and leave. It's like they're collecting human engineers." Jeho thought of Taiwan downloading information about human colonies. He remembered the dragon's words about human ingenuity. A chill ran down his spine. "The attacks follow a clear path," the captain said. "They're moving from colony to colony, getting closer to Earth. We need to know what we're dealing with." Jeho made a decision. He opened a hidden cabinet in his workshop and pulled out a data drive. "I can help you," he said. "I've met a Ryong. I fixed his ship when it crashed here. Before he left, I installed tracking devices and collected data on Ryong technology." The captain's eyes widened. "You did what?" "I didn't fully trust him," Jeho explained. "I was right not to. And now I think I know why they're taking engineers. They want our skills, our way of thinking. Ryong technology is advanced but rigid. Human engineering is flexible, creative. They're using us to improve their technology," the captain realized. Jeho nodded. "And I might be the only one who knows how to stop them." 3 years had passed since Taiwan left New Seoul. Jeho no longer lived in his small workshop at the edge of the colony. Now he worked in a large lab on Terra Nova, the capital planet of human space. The walls of his new workspace were covered with diagrams of Ryong technology. Teams of scientists and engineers came to him daily with questions. Jeho had become Earth's top expert on dragon ships. "The latest defense system is ready for testing," said Sujin, Jeho's wife. They had met 2 years ago when she was assigned as his military contact. She was smart and brave, a top strategist in Earth's defense forces. "Let's hope it works better than the last one," Jeho said with a tired smile. The attacks on human colonies had continued. 17 settlements had been hit, with hundreds of engineers taken. Each time, the dragons came with better ships and weapons. They were learning, adapting, using human ideas to improve their technology. Jeho picked up a small model of a Ryong ship. They're creating hybrid systems now. Ryong biotechnology combined with human engineering. It's like they're taking the best of both worlds. Sujin touched his arm. "You should come home and rest. You've been working for days." "I'll be home soon," Jeho promised. "I want to check the tracking system one more time." The tracking devices Jeho had hidden in Tadawon's ship still worked. They showed the dragon fleet moving through space, getting closer to Earth with each attack. The latest data put them just 2 systems away. At home, Jeho found their daughter Minji playing with toy spaceships. At 4 years old, she already showed signs of her father's engineering mind. She built towers with blocks that should have fallen over, but somehow stayed standing. "Daddy." Minji ran to him. "Look what I made." She showed him a drawing of what looked like a dragon. Jiho felt a chill. "That's very good," he said. "Where did you see this?" "In my dream," Minji said. "The dragon man was looking for you." Jiho put Minji to bed early that night. Later, he sat with Sujin in their small kitchen. "The military wants to move us to the secure base on Luna," Sujin said. "They think you and your knowledge need to be protected." Jiho nodded. "When do we leave?" "Tomorrow morning." That night, while Sujin and Minji slept, Jiho checked his personal security system. A red light blinked on his tablet. Someone had tried to access his home network. With growing worry, Jiho went to his locked safe. Inside was the metal scale Taiwan had given him. He kept it sealed in a special container. When he opened the box, the scale was glowing and pulsing with faint blue light. "It's a beacon," Jiho whispered in horror. "It's been tracking me all along." Just then, all power in the house went out. Emergency lights came on, casting red shadows through the rooms. Jiho's tablet beeped with an urgent message. The defense grid around Terra Nova had detected multiple ships entering the system, ships larger than any seen before. Jiho rushed to wake his family. "We need to go now." They were halfway to the door when all screens in the house turned on by themselves. The face that appeared made Jiho freeze. It was Taiwan. The dragon looked older, with new scars across his scales. He wore armor that combined flowing round designs with clearly human-inspired elements. "Greetings, Jiho Kim," Taiwan said. His voice was being broadcast across the entire planet. "It has been too long since we last met. I have come to thank you properly for your help. Your ideas have changed my people forever." The dragon smiled, showing sharp teeth. "And now I have come to bring you home with me." Outside, the sky filled with the shapes of dragon ships, their hulls glowing with the same blue light as Taiwan's scale. Alarms blared across Terra Nova as the Ryong fleet moved into position above the planet. The massive flagship at the center was unlike any dragon ship seen before. It combined the smooth organic lines of Ryong design with clearly human-inspired elements. In the emergency shelter under the city, Jiho watched the defense grid activate. Hundreds of human ships rose to meet the threat, but he knew they stood little chance. The Ryong had been learning and adapting for 3 years. "All ships hold position," ordered the fleet admiral over the emergency channel. "They haven't fired yet." On all screens, Taiwan's face appeared again. "People of Terra Nova, I am Prince Taiwan of the Royal Ryong Clutch. Your weapons cannot harm us. Your defenses cannot stop us, but we do not come to destroy." The dragon's golden eyes seemed to look directly at Jiho. "We seek only one thing. Bring us Jiho Kim, the mechanic who repaired my ship, and we will leave your world in peace." Sujin grabbed Jiho's arm. "Don't even think about it. If I don't go, they'll attack," Jiho said. "Thousands will die." "It's a trap," Sujin argued. "Once they have you, what stops them from attacking anyway?" The admiral approached them. "Kim, we don't trade our people, not even for promises of safety." Jiho looked at the screens showing the dragon fleet. The ships hovered in perfect formation, weapons ready but not firing. "Yet, I know Taiwan," Jiho said. "He's proud, but he keeps his word. If he says they'll leave after taking me, they will." He paused. "For now, at least." "And what about your wife? Your daughter?" the admiral asked. Jiho thought of Minji, now safely hidden in the deepest part of the shelter with other children. "I'm going because of them, because every minute we talk, the dragons learn more about our defenses." Before anyone could stop him, Jiho stepped forward. "I'll go, but I need 5 minutes first." In a private room, Jiho hugged Sujin tightly. "Listen carefully," he whispered. "This isn't what it seems. I've been preparing for this day for 3 years." He pressed a small device into her hand. "When I'm on the flagship, I'll activate the override protocols I built into Taiwan's original ship. All their new ships use parts of that technology. They'll be vulnerable for exactly 8 minutes. Su Jin's eyes widened. Operation Blacksmith, she whispered. It was the plan they had created together, but never thought they would need so soon. Jai-Ho nodded. The hidden fleet is ready. Yes, behind the moon. As planned. When you see my signal, launch everything we have. Jai-Ho touched her face gently. Tell Minji I love her. 20 minutes later, a small shuttle carried Jai-Ho toward the Ryong flagship. The massive ship loomed ahead, its hull shimmering with blue energy. As he approached, a bay opened like a giant mouth to receive him. Inside the flagship, rows of Ryong warriors stood at attention. Their armor combined scales and metal in beautiful but deadly designs. At the end of the long walkway stood Taiwan. The Dragon Prince had grown larger. New patterns marked his scales, and jeweled bands circled his arms. He wore a crown of what looked like human technology mixed with Ryong crystals. Jai-Ho Kim, Taiwan said, his voice echoing in the vast chamber. At last we meet again. You didn't need to threaten a planet just to say hello. Jai-Ho replied, trying to keep his voice steady. Taiwan laughed. Always the brave one. That is why I like humans. So small, yet so bold. He gestured around the ship. Look at what you helped create. Your ideas, your repairs to my ship, changed everything for my people. Is that why you've been kidnapping human engineers? To steal more ideas? Not steal. Collect. Taiwan moved closer. And now I have come for the best one of all. The human who showed us how to improve our technology. You will be my chief engineer, Jai-Ho Kim. Jai-Ho kept his face neutral, but his hand slipped into his pocket, feeling for the small device hidden there. Soon, he would show Taiwan what human engineering was truly capable of. Come, Taiwan said, leading Jai-Ho deeper into the flagship. I want to show you something. They walked through long hallways that seemed both alive and mechanical. Jai-Ho noticed how Ryong technology had changed. The pure organic look was now mixed with human-style engineering. Straight lines cut through curved surfaces, metal parts connected with living crystal. They entered a vast chamber where dozens of humans worked at strange machines. Some looked up as Jai-Ho passed. Their eyes showed fear, but also hope when they saw him. Your fellow engineers, Taiwan explained. They help us improve our ships. You mean they work for you as slaves? Jai-Ho said. Taiwan's scales shifted color slightly. Not slaves, valued workers. They live well here, but they can't leave. Why would they want to? They work with the most advanced technology in the galaxy. The Dragon Prince moved to a large window overlooking the engine room. This is what I wanted to show you. Below, a massive crystal pulsed with blue light. Around it, a complex system of metal parts moved in perfect harmony. Jai-Ho recognized his own ideas in the design, but taken further than he had imagined. Beautiful, isn't it? Taiwan said. This engine design started with your repairs to my ship. Now it powers our entire fleet. Jai-Ho studied the engine carefully. He could see the core systems were still based on the original ship he had fixed. That meant his override protocols would work. And what is your plan, Taiwan? Take more engineers. Attack more colonies. The dragon's golden eyes gleamed. Why attack what we can simply take? With our new ships, powered by engines inspired by you, we will rule the stars. Humans will serve the Ryong, as is proper. Your minds are useful, but you need guidance. Jai-Ho noticed a control panel nearby. He needed to get closer to it. You want me to help build ships that will enslave my own people? Jai-Ho asked, moving casually toward the panel. I want you to reach your full potential, Taiwan said. Humans are clever but short-sighted. Under Ryong rule, your ideas will help build wonders. Jai-Ho was close enough now. He just needed a distraction. Before I agree to anything, I want to send a message to my wife. To tell her I'm safe. Taiwan considered this. Very well. A short message only. As a guard brought a communication device, Jia-ho slipped the small tool from his pocket. While pretending to type a message, he attached the device to the control panel. A tiny light blinked green. "I sent it," Jia-ho said, stepping back. Taiwan nodded. "Now let me show you where you will work." As they walked away, Jia-ho pressed a hidden button on his sleeve. The device he planted began sending signals through the ship's systems. All across the Round fleet, the override protocols activated. On the bridge, alarms began to sound. "What is happening?" Taiwan demanded, rushing to a control panel. "Systems failing across the fleet," a Ryong officer reported. "Ships are losing power." Taiwan spun to face Jia-ho. "What did you do?" Jia-ho smiled. "I told you years ago, human engineering is about solving problems. I saw a problem when I fixed your ship, the problem of what you might do with it. So I built in a solution." Through the windows, Jia-ho could see the Ryong ships drifting, their blue glow fading. "You cannot stop us," Taiwan growled. "Even with systems down, we outnumber your forces." "Are you sure about that?" Jia-ho pointed out the window. From behind Terra Nova's moon, a hidden human fleet appeared. These ships were different. They combined the best of human engineering with what Jia-ho had learned from Ryong technology. "You weren't the only one learning new tricks these past 3 years," Jia-ho said. "Operation Blacksmith is now active." The human fleet moved quickly, surrounding the disabled Ryong ships. Boarding vessels attached to the flagship's hull. Taiwan's scales darkened with rage. "You planned this all along." "From the moment I found you in that crashed ship," Jia-ho agreed. "I hoped I was wrong about you, Taiwan, but I prepared in case I was right." The sound of human soldiers entering the ship echoed through the hallways. The trap had sprung perfectly. Human soldiers poured into the flagship. Leading them was Su-jin, her face determined as she directed teams to secure the ship. "Secure the engine room and free our people," she ordered. Then she saw Jia-ho and ran to him. "Your plan worked," she said, hugging him quickly. "All Round ships are disabled." Taiwan stood tall, his wings half spread in anger. "This changes nothing. The Round Empire will send more ships. We will return stronger." "I don't think so," Jia-ho said. He turned to one of the human engineers who had been held captive. "Han-su, show the prince what we've been working on." The engineer pressed a button on a small device. On all screens around them, images appeared of the Round homeworld. Then the view shifted to show something in orbit around their planet, human ships. "While you were busy taking our engineers, we sent our own ships to your homeworld," Jia-ho explained. "Not to attack, just to watch and learn." Taiwan's scales paled. "Impossible. Our world is protected by defense systems based on the ship I fixed for you," Jia-ho finished for him. "Systems with the same weaknesses." Su-jin stepped forward. "We don't want war, Prince Taiwan. We want peace. Real peace, not slavery disguised as guidance." "You would threaten the Round homeworld," Taiwan hissed. "No," Jia-ho said firmly. "That's what you would do. We humans prefer to talk first. The ships are there to ensure you listen." The human soldiers had finished securing the bridge. The captured engineers were being freed. Some cried with relief, others simply looked stunned. "Here's what will happen," Jia-ho continued. "You will return to your world with a peace treaty. Your ships will leave human space and never return without invitation. The engineers you took will go home." "And why would I agree to this?" Taiwan asked, his voice low and dangerous. Jia-ho walked to a nearby console and brought up new images. They showed detailed plans of Ryong technology. "Because we now understand your ships as well as you do," Jia-ho said. "The next time we meet, the playing field will be even. We can be valuable friends or dangerous enemies. The choice is yours." For a long moment, Taiwan was silent. His golden eyes studied Jia-ho carefully. "You knew," the dragon said finally. From the beginning, you knew what I planned. Jai-Ho nodded. I hoped I was wrong, but I prepared in case I wasn't. How did you know to track my people back to our homeworld? I didn't just put tracking devices in your ship, Jai-Ho explained. I added a system that would record and transmit everything your new ships did. Every jump point, every course change. Your ships led us right to your home. A slow change came over Taiwan's face, something like respect. My father told me humans were clever animals. The Dragon Prince said. I see now he was half right. You are clever, but not animals. Perhaps not so different from us after all. 1 month later, Jai-Ho stood with Su-Jin and Min-Ji in the Great Hall of the Earth Alliance headquarters. Representatives from all human worlds had gathered to witness the signing of the peace treaty with the realm. Taiwan, now serving as the official ambassador of his people, pressed his claw to the document. With this, we agree to respect each other's territories and share knowledge for mutual benefit, he announced. Later, as they walked through the gardens outside, Jai-Ho pointed to the sky, where a new type of ship hovered. It combined the best of both species' technology. That's the first of the explorer vessels, he told Min-Ji, built by humans and Raon working together. Can I be an engineer on one someday? Min-Ji asked, her eyes wide with wonder. Of course, Jai-Ho said, smiling. That's what humans do best. We fix things, we build things, and we forge our own future. Above them, the ship gleamed in the sunlight, its hull bearing both human and Raon symbols. Not a weapon of war, but a bridge between worlds, a promise of what could be built when different species work together rather than against each other.